I just lost audio.
I can hear you.
I can hear
Okay,
that.
we are live. We are live and we are ready to go.
All right. Morning, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order at 10:32 a.m. The invocation will be given by Julie and the pledge by the sheriff. Anyone who's interested, please rise.
Heavenly Father, I thank you for this group of community leaders who are here each week to do your county business. We ask you today for your guidance as we conduct this business. Let us hear each other. Let us keep all our citizens in our hearts and minds, and let us keep, Heavenly Father, you as our guide. In your Son's name, amen.
Amen.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to lead the pledge in the sheriff's absence.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Okay, thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Al. Al, could you raise your hand? We cannot hear you.
Present via Zoom from the city of St. Joseph.
Curran.
I am present via Zoom, Niles Township.
Freeling.
Present via Zoom, DuBois, Wyoming.
Where? Where? Oops. Wyoming. Harrison.
Present via Zoom from Lincoln Township.
Hinkleman.
Present, Zoom, Waterville.
Majerick.
Present, Zoom, City of Niles.
Meeks.
Present via Zoom, Ben Charter Township.
Scott.
Present via Zoom, the New Buffalo Township.
Ballrat.
I'm here, Coloma Township, zooming in.
Werfel.
Present via Zoom, Royalton Township, hopefully for the last time on Zoom.
Yarborough. Present via Zoom from the city of Benton Harbor. Elliott.
President Buchanan.
Mr. Chair, you have 12 present.
Thank you. The minutes from last week, the 17th, have been out there for a while. Haven't heard anything, so based on the understanding that the minutes are acceptable as submitted by the clerk, is there a motion and support to approve those minutes?
This is Commissioner Freeling. That motion.
Moved by Freeling and supported by Majerick. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Curran.
Yes.
Freeling. Freeling.
She was not muted, so.
I'll come back. Oh, there. Harrison.
Yes.
Hinkleman.
Yes.
Majerick.
Yes.
Meeks.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Ballrat.
Affirmative.
Werfel.
Yes.
Yarborough. Yes. Bell.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, you have 12 yeas.
thank you, Madam Clerk. I think we have at least one communication.
Yes, you received a resolution from Kalamazoo County Board of Commissioners opposing gearing towards privatizing Michigan's mental health system, received on June 17th. That's the only communication I received.
Okay, thank you. We'll go into committee reports now. We'll begin with PHS. Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've got a number of items for you today. On your agenda are two resolutions. The first is accepting money from the Kresge Foundation. This is related to the vaccine outreach programming. I talked about that at the last meeting. Also, we've got a new donation to the Health Department to fund staff and volunteer appreciation. This is from a private citizen in the amount of $10,289.14. So we're very pleased about that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Then we have a board appointment today to the Connexus Workforce Board. So that's on your agenda. The committee discussed three other resolutions that will surface at later meetings. So I'll touch on those very briefly. One is related to the friend of the court. We've got some changes going on there. The second related to our county administrator contract adjustment for his compensation. That will come up at the July 1st meeting. And then also we'll have another one related to recognizing some individuals. And then the other item that the committee discussed related to the resignation of Nikki Britton at the Health Department and the need to appoint an individual to serve as our health officer. In discussion with our county administrator, the name of Courtney Davis has been sent to the state of Michigan. This is a rather involved process where the state needs to approve individuals appointed to that position. So Courtney's name has been sent to the state for their consideration. We fully expect that will happen. And then we'll be presenting her name for you for confirmation as the interim health officer at a later date. So we have a fair number of items for you today, and that would conclude our committee report. Members, did I gloss over anything that we need more detail? Or if you have questions, commissioners, I'd be glad to answer them at this time.
Mr. Chairman, may I add something to Commissioner Harrison's report?
Yes, ma'am.
What I would like to say is the appointment to the Workforce Board. May I give a little explanation of that? Commissioner, thank you. Commissioner Meeks and I met with Todd Gustafson, the director of This is Michigan Works Connexus, and we met with him and a gentleman that had applied and was up to be wanted to be appointed to the Workforce Development. And I'd just like to let you know his last name is Cohen, and he's the manager of the Inn at Harbor Shores. And on the Michigan Works Board, it's a good mixture of all kinds of businesses, education, like Michigan colleges on it, people that own businesses, managers, manufacturers, and then there is that CEOB board of county officials from Van Buren, Cass, and Berrien County. And so we were very pleased with the meeting with Mr. Cohen, a young man, and he's very much interested in being involved. And as our salute to him, we then went to the Inn at Harbor Shores and had some snacks and things with Commissioner Bell. So I just wanted to let you know what that was and who he is. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments for PHS? Okay, thanks, Bob. Jim, you want to go next with admin?
Sure. Thank you, Mac. The administration committee met at 8:30 this morning. The main item on our agenda was the Act 51 report for the road department. So present for this presentation was Ben Reynolds from Financial Services, Andy Podell from the road department, as well as Chris Cook from the road department. I understand that a copy of the report was sent to all the commissioners. And I understand that the report was also presented to the Finance Committee after us. And that was all we had on our agenda. And that is on our agenda for today. The reason being is the report has to be submitted to the state by the end of the month. And we're not meeting again until July 1st. So that's why it is being presented and on the agenda today. That's our report.
Okay, thanks. Questions for admin?
Mac, Commissioner Scott, I was trying to unmute myself, and for some odd reason it wouldn't do it, but I didn't have a question for admin. I had a question for you, Brian, and Bob Harrison on the PHS. What happens in the event if we're acting and we're sending and Courtney as the acting or interim in the meantime, while we take care of the process of the applications and posting it? What would happen in the instance, because Brian is the administrator and he is the one that the health department answers to? How does that work? We don't have the authority to put an interim in there, because what would have happened if something would have happened to our health director? There would have been a catastrophe or something. Someone has to be in charge, and you don't have that time to get the MDHHS approval. Are we in violation of something? I mean, that's just a question I'm not sure of. So that's why I wanted to comment on that. And then on a fun side, Bob, you should have probably taken that call. It was probably to extend the warranty of your vehicle.
The question about the health department is silly. The one about the vehicle is quite serious. If there had been a disaster, we would invoke emergency powers and could act under those powers. Otherwise, this is just a curious statutory thing that the state of Michigan has in place. I actually had thought we could do an interim without going to the director of MDHHS, but the statute says nope, even with an interim, which we can do an appointment for up to 6 months, I think. We still have to have the director in Lansing approve that appointment. I knew we had to have them approve the permanent hire, because there is statutory linkage between the state director of public health and each public health officer in the various counties around the state. And some counties share public health officers because they're not big enough to have their own full health departments. But yeah, even with Brian being the administrator, he doesn't have the authority to act as a public health officer. I suppose we could appoint him, but he wouldn't be the best choice for that, because you need someone with a public health background. So none of us really would fit that bill, but that's the deal.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Just a quick follow-up on those comments. So Courtney Davis we will be bringing that forward, asking the board to affirm the decision to place her into the acting role. And the nice thing is we've got a little bit of time to get the approval necessary from the state of Michigan. It's worth noting that Courtney has actually been in this role once before. When Nikki took maternity leave, she being Courtney was placed into the acting role, albeit on a relatively short period of time, but it has been done before. I anticipate that with the amount of lead time that we've been given, we should have no problem getting the state of Michigan's sign off for a second time. And the plan is to bring this forward to the board on July 8th. Nikki's last day with the county will be July 9th. We will be following up with a public statement just explaining to the public what's happening. And as it was noted at PHS today, we wish her the absolute best. I think that she's done an excellent job of helping us navigate the COVID waters, and hope that the next career challenge is something that is meaningful and good for her. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. If there's nothing in the way of questions for admin, we'll go to finance. Mimi.
Thank you. Finance too had a report regarding Act 51 from the above listed gentleman. And one of the things, and knowing that it would be presented to the full board, one of the things that there were on the chat questions to us, and they wanted to know when they could have a copy of this report. And after what was said was that after we approve it, then it will be posted on the road department site. And then it'll be where they can, if they choose, pick up an actual copy of the report. And then the Finance Committee had a waiver request, and it was from the Parks Department. And it was regarding the bucket on a John Deere tractor that we own that's used at the beach for many things. And this bucket had a crack in it and could not be used, but the tractor was still being used to move things, but we're not able to move sand and it needs to be repaired as soon as possible. And they wanted to stay with the same company that has the parts and has been doing the repairs. And by consensus, we agreed that they could go ahead and have that done. And then we talked about a resolution. We've been discussing putting the administrator's line of being able to spend above the $5,000 that it is. And hopefully in the next meeting, week or two, we will have that. And then when we're, Annette emailed us the schedule, and I thank you for that. And then we can wear masks if we choose to as commissioners, but there is no requirement as of July 1 on entering the building or the employees or whatever. It's at your own choice. We accepted the minutes. We accepted to pay the bills, and that is our action that we did. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions for finance? I can't see everyone's hand, so I'm just relying on sound in case anyone has a question, but I haven't heard anything. So we'll go to public comments regarding resolutions. We are limited at this point to public comments about agenda items, resolutions on the agenda. I don't see that we've added any resolutions, so it would just be the ones that are shown on the agenda. We'll pause for a moment for public comments to come through.
Mac, we're all good. We don't have any public comments regarding resolutions.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved, Mr. Chair, but I'd like to make the motion that we approve the consent calendar with the added resolution ending in 6262 to the consent.
My mistake. Thank you. I see it there at the top of page 2. So there's a motion to approve the consent calendar, including the resolution ending in 6262, which is the Act 51 report submission. Is there support?
Commissioner Curran will support the motion.
Okay, so moved by Scott, supported by Curran. Is there any discussion?
Chair, this is Commissioner Freeling.
Yes, ma'am.
I wish to abstain from Resolution B 2106083 related to requisition number 51564 for REV in the amount of $14,000 in an abundance of caution, sir.
Okay, so noted. If you otherwise vote in the affirmative, your vote will be also deemed to be an abstention as to requisition number 51564, which is part of the resolution ending in 6083. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
All right, very good. Any other comments? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Meeks,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Allrath,
Yes.
Werfel,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, you have 12 yeas.
thank you. We have a board appointment of Brady Cohen to the Workforce Development Board to fill a vacancy. He's a private sector appointee, the term ending 12/31/23. Does the chair of PHS wish to make that motion?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Is there support?
Commissioner makes support.
Moved by Harrison, supported by Meeks. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mac,
Harrison,
Stand by 1 second. Yes, Ezra.
Mac, I have a question on that. Was this the only person that put in for this vacancy in the private sector? Or were there others?
No, that was it. And it had to be from Berrien County. There are a number of, there was a Berrien County seat vacant. And he fit the category and the geography.
All right, thank you. Okay, that's all I had, Mac. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no other questions, will the clerk please call the roll?
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Majerick,
Yes.
Meeks,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Allrath,
Yes.
Werfel,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, you have 12 yeas.
thank you. Commissioner reports. Does anyone have anything to share?
Yeah, Matt. Monday, we had our board meeting for the Area Agency on Aging, and Lynn Kellogg announced her retirement from the top position there. She's been there for 45 years.
Oh, my.
We have our Area Agency on Aging, and Region 4 in Michigan is one of the top regions in the country, and Lynn Kellogg has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, she's super.
So
When is she stepping down?
sometime probably by the end of the year, she's going to stay there for the transition period, and she may be keeping her hands in there, from a distance, but by the end of the year.
Well, let's keep tabs on that, and we should do something in the way of board recognition or resolution for her.
I believe so, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll talk to you, man.
All right, sounds good.
More information.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. Anyone else have anything?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to let you all know that I attended the ribbon cutting for the New Buffalo Township opening of their public safety building. And yes, I got lost.
Well, we take comfort in that consistency, at least, maybe,
Right highway. It's one road. It goes straight somewhere.
It's okay to go to New Buffalo by way of Michigan City. Most people do that, so.
I'm going to ride it to the end every time. It was a wonderful event, and this building is magnificent. It's connected with the, and Scott can tell you, Ezra can tell you more about it, connected with the New Buffalo Township Fire Department. And they just gave such good thought to everything. There is one bay that opens that's longer than the other one because it's for a ladder truck that they bought and almost couldn't put it anywhere because undercover, it was not, the space was not long enough and all. And it will house our sheriff's department that's normally in New Buffalo, and also the tribal police. Maybe there'll be New Buffalo, oh, there's a picture, New Buffalo Township pictures, deputies also. It's a lot of good rooms, a lot of thought is given to what it should be. And I was glad to be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want Mamie to feel bad, but I never did find it.
Oh,
So, at least you found it.
You were coming?
Yes, I was, Mamie.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't want you to feel bad. I didn't find it. At least you found it. Thank you.
It was a new fire department building. That's what it
okay.
Yeah.
I know now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone
Julie.
else? Yes, ma'am.
I had the Southwest Michigan Community Action Agency meeting, and the Vincent Place had a water break, a line break about 2 weeks ago now, and did a lot of damage to their facility as well. The break was above them, but the water line broke. It was 2 hours before they were able to shut it off. So you can imagine the amount of damage. So they're working right now in about half the space that they're normally used to. So that's kind of what's going on down there right now.
Right. Thank you. I think I heard another voice as well.
Yeah, this is Commissioner Harrison. I just want to report that Commissioner Bell and I toured Carol's Hope, the addiction center in Scottsdale, and had a lengthy discussion with the staff there regarding funding and needs and the apportionment of money from Public Act 2. So I'm sure there'll be more to that story in the coming months.
Sure. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, Mac, Commissioner Scott, Mamie did make it. It was amazing. She did before it all started. I apologize to Commissioner Meeks because I had turned my phone off due to the people that were going to be speaking. So it was after I turned it back on, once I got home, way afterwards, that I saw that you had called and said, I don't know where you're at. So I apologize for that. The fire department, or the public safety building, is really quite the thing. It's state of the art. It even has a decontamination room, which we don't have down here in New Buffalo Township. And now we have that. It has an outside entrance, so it's a clean room. Nice concept. But the thing I think that Commissioner Yarborough and I were most impressed about was on the public safety side, where the police department is, or the shared area of the New Buffalo Township Police Department, the Berrien County Sheriff's offices, and the tribal police will be in that offices. There is a huge meeting room. And it also has a very nice countertop with a full kitchen. So when we do our night meetings and lay all the cookies and all of that stuff out, there's a nice place for it, which Mamie and I commented on, I must say. But the nice thing about the open public space is that the all of the internet and everything that's in the infrastructure of the building, it was pointed out by the undersheriff that in case of an emergency or a disaster, that building is already set up to be a command center. So there was a lot of thought process that went into that. So that's basically it. Basically, I just wanted to let everybody know what a wonderful place that'd be, and it's way large enough for us to have a night meeting there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ezra? Yeah, Ezra, does it still have a sliding pole from the to slide down for the firemen?
No, there is no sliding pole there because there is no upper story on it where people would sleep. Since we are a volunteer, they have to actually get there. So no, we didn't have a place for a real brass pole, you know, no.
Anyone else have anything? All right, we'll move to the administrator. do you have anything to share?
Just a follow-up statement on the health department changes. We'll push information out to the public. And as we get closer to the second week of July, the board will be asked to take formal action to recognize Courtney Davis as the acting director. So that's the health department news. And on a somewhat related basis, we'll be moving back to in-person meetings starting next week. So next Thursday is July 1st. And I believe that it's been almost a year and a half since this board met in person in the administration building. I'm going to have Annette talk with you all and the public about what to expect for next week. But we are looking forward to getting everyone back into the room. And with that said, I'll turn it over to Annette.
Stand by 1 second, Annette. Before I forget, with Nikki Britton's departure coming up in a couple of weeks, is there any objection to preparing a resolution for board action recognizing her contribution to public health in Berrien County? If there's no objection, we'll make that a resolution for signature by all members of the board, and we'll schedule her to come in to receive that resolution on the 8th of July.
You got it, sir.
Annette.
Okay, so the finance committee kind of asked about this, and so I figured actually this is really good information for all of you. So the view that you're seeing of our conference room it will continue to be like that. The screen will be down on a regular basis now. It won't be just when there's going to be presentations. And you will see that similarly to how we did this in the past, if we do have a presentation from another department, the chairman will have to come over into the audience area. The podium where we normally would have provided presentations from and where the public would stand for public comments is going to be removed from this room. I don't know if you can see where I'm at over here. I'm in the corner where the closets are, and that's where the controls are for the system that we have in the room now. And so I'll have a table over here that I'll be kind of running that from. So the seats of the public will be pushed over a little bit further to the right, but I don't anticipate us having any problems with fitting them into the room at all. Everybody will have a microphone that looks like this in front of them. Those will all need to be muted when you're not using them, but it's a lot easier. It's just simply a push of the button in the front. Presentations will be provided through Zoom, like we've kind of been doing now, so that the presenter will provide that presentation for those in the room as well as those on YouTube. There's also an option for somebody to come into the room and actually plug a cable into this system that's behind me. I don't know if you can see that. So they'll plug themselves into there. So next week is 9:15 for all of our committee meetings. You're going to go back to your normal rooms that you're in. There's no committee of the whole meeting next week. And then at 10:30, we'll convene in this room. As we have the public now allowed into the room for the meetings, the public comments portion will only be held live. And so as of next week, those that are watching on YouTube, the chat option will be shut off, and you won't be able to have that communication that way. Public comments will be provided in person. I think that's it.
Mr. Chairman? Mac, this is Commissioner Curran.
Sorry, I cleared my screen accidentally. Yes, sir.
Hey, I just want to make a comment that Annette must have a microphone near her because the audio quality from her is excellent. We can hear you very, very well, Annette.
Are these the same mics we've had all along or new ones?
Sir, these are new, and there's a little bit of just a little bit of time needed to get used to them, but today's meetings we've had, PHS, admin, finance, now the full board. And it seems like our IT department or IS department has done a really good job of greatly improving the audio quality.
Yeah, it does sound good. Even with the echo.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make one comment on this. From what I'm seeing from my screen is if this is the video quality that the people are going to see online on YouTube, we must have upgraded our camera or something, because I think the video quality is outstanding.
Yeah, it is. Everyone will have to dress fairly nice when they come in for the meetings because the camera will not lie. Brian, you have anything else?
I think that covers it. As we get closer to next week, if any of you have questions, please, either me or Annette, just let us know what we can do to help. And as Commissioner Yarborough reminded, as you come back into the building, there is no mask mandate. It is completely an optional thing for any of you that wish to have those on. That's completely fine. For members of the public visiting, it is optional, as well as it being optional for staff.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I have a question for the administrator
Yes.
and for Annette, or for the IS department, I guess, too, is there going to be any problems with any of our key fobs because they haven't been used? Are those still in the activated mode? Or is that something we don't need to worry about, or I wasn't sure.
Well, we can activate them or make sure that they're still activated, but if you'd like, we could just crack a window. You can crawl through.
It's fine with me. I was just wondering, because if they haven't been used in that length of time, if there was an issue with that. I didn't know.
Yeah, we'll double check with Chris's team just to make sure there's no problems. But we should be ready to have you all back in.
You may send out directions for some of those who haven't been there in a year and a half.
Yeah, what's the address again?
May I say, I have used my fob a couple of times. I've come in the building. It works just fine.
Mine still works fine.
Mine fell off, so I need another one.
It fell off.
Yeah, the pod actually fell off my key, so I don't have one. So I have to follow somebody in. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Well, Mr. Administrator, can you deactivate that fob and get him a new one?
Not a problem, sir. We'll take care of that.
All right. Ezra, if yours doesn't work next week, there's a reason for that.
And that's fine. I don't have a problem in that. Annette will take care of me and leave a window cracked open, and that's not a problem. I don't have a problem in that. Thank you so much.
We'll throw a rope down from the second floor.
Well, I can use the one his window. Thank you.
Yeah, public door, everybody can use that. It's just the door from the parking lot and the back doors where you need the fob. Assuming you're coming in during regular hours. All right. Any public comments that have percolated through while we've been talking away?
No, actually, you had about 15 people on here at one point, and I have no public comments.
Okay. Did they all leave from boredom or?
We only lost 2. We're down to 13 now, so.
They must be doing something right.
Appreciate them hanging in. Anyone have any other business? If not, as you see on your agenda, there's a land bank authority meeting at 1 today, and that is, of course, virtual. And then, as was covered, we're going to be back live a week from today. Does anyone have anything else?
Should we wear name badges so people know who we are?
Yeah, probably. Hello, my name is, on your shirt, tag. All right, nothing else, then we will be back together next Thursday morning. I did find the patio furniture cleaning brush once again, so I will declare us adjourned.